Now, obviously, there's a lot of HTML out there, and that HTML is going to have to be converted to XHTML to become compliant. Now, what most people are most likely going to do is do this through attrition. Every time they make a change to web pages, they will bring them into compliance. Let me show you, there's some basically 9 basic steps that you need to do. Depending on who you read and where you get it, you may need to see more steps or some of these broken down into pieces. First up, you have to add a document type declaration to your HTML page. And obviously this needs to be one of the legal ones that's published by the World Wide Web Consortium. Then you need to declare an XHTML namespace inside the HTML element, just like we did when we created ours in an earlier video. Now this one's kind of interesting. You need to convert all of your element and attribute names to lowercase. Now some people used uppercase in their HTML, and since we're now using a namespace and a DTD, all these are going to have to be lowercase. If you remember, XML is case sensitive, and so your HTML just became case sensitive. That's kind of scary based on some of the stuff that's out there. Now, you also need to match your start and end tags. And if you remember, in HTML, there are some tags that just don't have end tags. For example, the line break. The HTML browser was basically built to not pay too much attention to open-ended elements, but not in the XML world, so you're going to have to match those. The way you're going to do that on empty tags, such as that break tag, notice right here, we don't have to do 2 break tags. We can do 1 tag, but put a slash on the right side. Notice if the slash is on the left side, that indicates it's a close tag. If it's on the right side, it tells it it's an empty tag. This is both the beginning and ending, the opening and closing of this particular tag. You'll have to take care of those in the HTML. The next thing, make sure that any required attributes are set, and the validator will tell you what those are if you don't get those. And this is real interesting. If you have an attribute in an element, it must be assigned a value, or you're not going to validate. Then, any attribute values or all attribute values in the document must be in quotes. Now, you can theoretically use either single or double quotes, but go with double quotes. They are pretty much the standard with everybody, and they will absolutely validate. Then, all elements and attributes must be defined in the XHTML DTD that's being used. Bottom line is, that DTD is laying out the attributes and elements that can be used, and you may find yourself using some deprecated tags or some old HTML tags that have gone away. What does this mean, bottom line? Well, it means you're going to have to stop wasting some of that time that you're wasting every night between midnight and 4 a.m., right? You're going to have to go out and do some reading on XHTML. Just look at some overview information, find out exactly what's happening in HTML, kind of get your feet under you with this stuff, but this is where we're headed, folks. XHTML will eventually take over the web and how our web pages are presented as opposed to HTML. And what we're going after here is structure and consistency. So that's how to convert HTML to XHTML. And I should mention, there are starting to pop up a lot of companies, software companies, with little tools that will do this for you or help you through this process. So you may want to go out and Google that and take a look at finding some of those if this is going to be an issue with you.